Hello and welcome parents and students, Rising Seniors Class of 2022, to the Counselor Information Session entitled Getting Ready for Senior Year. Today's presentation will review graduation requirements, tips for helping navigate senior year, reviewing registration information, as well as the new Junior Google site that was created to help make that registration process easier. After this presentation, you can contact your Alpha Counselor for additional questions or to set up a virtual meeting. First, I want to introduce with you Student Services, Dean of Students Teresa Brown, Counselors A through DI, Shanita Telfair, Counselor DO through LA, Kendall Booth, Counselor LE through RA, Dean Wright, Counselor RO through Z, Cheryl Hegarty, our SAP Counselor, Paige Burnett, our Career Development Coordinator, Melanie Carlton, the Registrar, Patrice Sidney, the Guidance Technician, Maria Carrera Pasada, Data Manager, Linda Martin. I want to review with you the graduation requirements for Class of 2022, Future Ready Core. There's 4 credits in English, 4 credits in Math, 3 in Science, 4 in Social Studies, and new next year, the Civics Literacy. This takes the place of our Civics and Economics and can be taken at academic or honors level. 6 credits in electives, 2 of which should be a foreign language if you are going to go to a 4-year university. 4 electives are recommended in the concentration area, CTE, art, or any other subject area. Healthful living is 1 credit. Electives would be 4 credits for a total of 26 credits. Questions about your Future Ready Core and how you are able to complete this, please contact your counselor and you can discuss your individual situation directly with them. North Carolina Academic Scholar is something that is a recognition during graduation. Usually on the diploma it has a little asterisk by your name that says you are a North Carolina Scholar. It's usually determined at the 3rd quarter rank of your senior year, and that's when we look to see if you meet the initial requirement, which is a GPA of a 3.5 unweighted, and then we look to see if the Future Ready Core requirements that you have taken make you eligible to be a North Carolina Academic Scholar. And so as you can see, all of them are pretty much the same, except in addition to this, your electives have to have been 3 higher level courses taken during your junior senior year that were honors or AP level. Important dates that you need to keep on your radar: the Common Application opens on August 1st. Senior conferences will start in September. The date is to be determined. Early application deadline is October 15th. You want to check the Student Services website or the Junior Google site that I'll introduce to you in a few minutes for more information about college planning and financial aid, test prep, how to send transcripts, academic planning, and more. And here I have Athens Drive's website, the ADHS-student-studentservices.weebly.com. Things you want to do now is make sure you review your transcript, and not necessarily a transcript, but make sure you've taken everything that's checked off on that Future Ready Core list. Students need to be purposeful about building their resume, both in choosing activities and creating a resume to show off your experience and your strength to share with jobs. Think about who you want to write your recommendation letter. You want to use your brag sheet from the Google site to give your school counselor and your teachers. Check out scholarships that you may want to apply for next year. Even though you can't apply for them as a junior, it could give you a head start on making a list about which ones you want to look out for. Explore summer enrichment opportunities or employment opportunities. Research college options and deadlines. Use cfnc.org or collegeboard.org, as well as going to the Common Application site and seeing the videos that are there. Prepare and take and retake the ACT or the SAT. And due to the pandemic, colleges may or may not require for you to send your scores. Juniors are taking the ACT on February 23rd, and it can be one of the ones that you choose to send. If you're interested in the military, you want to contact your recruiters and take the ASVAB. Ms. Carlton, our Career Development Coordinator, is a great resource, and she is the point of contact. Her website is listed here, athenscareercorner.weebly.com. On her website, you can sign up for appointments and look at some resources and videos that she has there. And we want to emphasize to you to finish your junior year strong, because this is the last opportunity for you to be able to make an impact on your GPA and your rank. Colleges will not see your senior grades into the mid-year point. A lot of the deadlines for your college applications are before you even get grades for your senior year. So 9th, 10th, and 11th grade is it. So finish strong. We recommend you take the ACT and SAT the spring of your junior year, the fall of your senior year, and whichever one you choose, take it at least twice. You register online through their websites. Usually it's 6 weeks before the test, but I have had students register late registration and pay the fee. We also, if you're interested in test prep, there's Mr. Rameli does the test prep for SAT, and the information is on Athens Drive website. It may be limited due to the pandemic. I don't know how he's doing that, but you do need to check the website for updates. We also have forms available for students that are interested in qualifying for a fee waiver to waive the fees for this test. If you think you are someone that will qualify, you want to contact your counselor so they can send you the form to see if you're eligible. Due to the pandemic, many opportunities to take the SAT and ACT have been limited because of closures and social distancing. We don't know what it's going to look like going forward, but we will have an update for you during your senior conferences in the fall, and we'll let you know how your college admission testing is going to be impacted, so stay tuned for that. Your letter of recommendation is a piece of your college application portfolio that you'll have to submit to colleges. The first part is your application, putting in your courses and such, but the next piece is letters of recommendation. And sometimes, they require more than one. The counselor recommendation I know is on a Common App, and teacher recommendations, but not all applications require a counselor recommendation and a letter of recommendation. So it just depends on where you're applying to. So you want to inform your recommenders about the guidelines, provide sufficient time, 2 weeks is recommended. You want to share your resume and a copy of your brag sheet. Distinguish yourself. Make sure you answer your questions thoroughly so the person that's recommending you will know everything that you've been doing. You want to provide the appropriate email. Make sure that you give adequate time for completion, and make sure that you realize to send a thank you letter to the people that gave you recommendations, because they do have a lot of recommendations to write. Because most senior classes are, here we have more than 400 students that are in our senior class, and some teachers and counselors are really writing a lot of recommendations. So again, I can't stress it enough to make sure you provide them adequate notice and time, and we suggest 2 weeks. Paying for college and financial aid. For more information on FAFSA, you want to visit cfnc.org, and it will walk you through all of the frequent asked questions and all the things you need to know about the FAFSA form. Also at Athens, we have been assigned a financial aid counselor, Ms. Victoria Sharp. She can be reached best by email at vsharp@wcpss.net, and she can assist you with completing the FAFSA application as well as answering any and all questions. And we'll review this information again during your senior conference. And the first date that is available for you to sign up for financial aid will be October 1st. Resources for scholarship. I've enclosed them here, thescholarshipplus.com/wake, fastweb.com, Athens Drive website. Click on Student Services, the college and universities that you're applying to, the senior Google site, and a Google search for scholarships. Here's the Google site link, and we're going to be heading there next to review what's on the junior Google site. So stay tuned. First, on the Google site, you can beat your counselor and look at, a picture of your counselor if you're not familiar with who they are, just to recognize them and be familiar. You're going to be seeing your counselor a lot during your senior year. New this year, we've set up a virtual appointment link. So you can go to the virtual appointment and set up a counselor. So if you click on your counselor's link here, like for me, you can go to my actual calendar, and if you click on a time, it'll show by available appointment times, and if you select it, it'll say confirm, and then it'll send you a Google conferencing link, and then you'll join me at whatever time it is that you selected. Graduation requirements, we reviewed that before, but just keep in mind, so all juniors need 18 credits to be promoted to a senior, and most of you will have more than that. Required senior classes, all seniors must take English 4, academic honors or AP, literature and composition, that civics literacy class, academic or honors, a fourth math, if you're not already done so, math 4 honors, pre-calculus, and AP stat. And this is for someone that is going to a 4-year college. And in a few minutes, I'll review other options for that 4 math credits. And also a lab science is recommended to be competitive for college admission. And what we mean here by lab science, maybe a forensic science class, it might be an animal science class, it might be AP bio, it might be AP chemistry. That's what we mean. And this is to be competitive, especially at some of the colleges like NC State and UNC Chapel Hill. The course selections, we want to remind you how to use the course selection system. This year you're going to be actually signing on to PowerSchool to register for classes on your own, and you need to make sure that you select 8 primary courses and 3 alternates that you want to take. Alternate courses should be courses that you are willing to take, and we want you to make sure that you do not repeat the same class twice on your course selections. Look at your recommendations that your teachers made for you for courses. Make sure that you complete the required application for classes that require teacher approval. So, for example, for the upper level band and chorus, you have to audition. For PEPI, there's an application and you have to get a teacher to sign off. Early childhood education 1 and 2 require application, as well as the yearbook class. Students should also be aware, again, what they have to do to graduate. And if you don't know and you need help, again, you can set up an appointment with your counselor. Students should be aware, if they're in the STEM Academy, which section of classes to sign up for. And you do need to select your classes from the STEM section. Students in the Health Science Academy also need to pay attention to the remaining requirements for the Health Science Academy pathway. So make sure you're paying attention to that. The registration timeline, February the 26th through the March the 19th is when the portal will be open, and you must submit your course selections by March the 19th. The video that I'm doing now will be available to you, as well as a video that will walk with you through how to register if you've forgotten. Most of you probably know how to, but there will be a video coming out later that will be linked here, so you'll know how to register. You'll also be able to look here for the course selections and what we're offering. And this is just all of the core classes, as well as some of the electives. And then I want to pay attention to this too. For students that are not going to a 4-year college, there's a lot of options about how you can get to your 4th math. So if you look at this chart, it'll help you figure out if you're not someone that's going to take the Math 4 class. The Career Technical and Education course selections is also here, as well as recommended progression through the pathways. And there's track descriptions and all of those things there. So this is a really comprehensive course selection guide for registration. Also, the Wake Planning Guide is here for you to look at as well. And it will have all of the classes that are offered all over Wake County. So there may be some classes here that we don't offer, but you can look on here and read through it to see other questions that you may have. The brag sheet that I was talking about, you can get a head start on doing this. This is the recommend letter self-assessment. So you're going to be answering questions. Even though you're doing a resume, we do ask that you put it here on this sheet. Also, you're going to be answering questions about yourself, and we ask that you answer these questions completely and not with just yes or no answers. I've had students give me a form and it had NA all the way through, so that didn't provide me with a lot of detail. But we are asking that you please take time. You're getting it now, so you can take time to be able to do that. There's another piece of the senior brag sheet, the parent assessment, that we really value. The parents are able to talk about your outstanding accomplishments, adjectives to describe you. I mean, who better knows you than your parent? Talk about your grades and whether they reflect your true ability or not. I love reading these parent assessments, and we really want you to make sure you ask your parents in a timely manner to do it, because this form will be due in September when it's time for us to write recommendations. Here is a sample copy of the resume. As you see, it's Susie Student, and then this one is actually about a part-time retail job, but you can tailor it to be about applying to college, or majoring in biology, or whatever you want, and then just tweak it as you want. And there's so many out there that I bet if you Googled it, you'll also find other sample templates that you might want to use. Here you can see the SAT website. It goes straight to there if you click the links. This is the ACT stuff. Here it was saying the students will be required to submit a standardized test score as part of the application. Just to note, Student Services does not get your test scores anymore like we used to. So you do have to go to College Board and ACTstudent.org and get them to send your scores, because we don't keep them. So you will have to have them be sent directly from here, and there is a fee involved. But you'll learn more about that when you're a senior, and we're talking more about that. We also included how to calculate your GPA on this site. This is important because seniors are always trying to figure out, if I make this certain class and I want to apply to school in January, what will my GPA be? And so what we did here is gave you a way that you can calculate it and look at it ahead of time, so you can kind of use this as a guide to what you're shooting for. But we always say shoot for A's and B's in all classes. There's also an example of a transcript here, and I wanted to show you when they're asking for your weighted GPA, on your transcript it's a 3.9 here for this student, for example, and the cumulative GPA unweighted is 3.6, and they're number 170 out of 493. So this particular student did really well, and their total high school graduation credits, 24. And as you can see, they have Math 1, English 2, EOC. So this is just the second page of the transcript, but we wanted you to see what an example of a sample transcript looks like. There's other forms that some seniors are interested in. Some seniors are interested in graduating mid-year. I want to emphasize here that if you are going to graduate mid-year, that you can only participate in 3 activities. So that's graduation rehearsal, senior breakfast, and the graduation ceremony that's at mid-year. You cannot participate in prom, the picnic, or athletics after graduation. So also another thing to note, you need to make sure all your graduation fees are paid in full prior to winter break in December. And once you do this form is signed off by your counselor. And then once it's signed off from that, Ms. Brown, the Dean of Students, is who you'll be talking to, because she'll be trying to coordinate when you do early testing and those types of things. And so we need to know what your plans are. So that's why all these things are here, telling us what your plans are. Make sure that you research the college that you're interested in to see if you can attend school in January, or you have to wait until August with everyone else. And so if you're thinking about mid-year graduation form, you may want to talk to your counselor about it and ask any questions that you may have. Also, as a senior, you have the opportunity to do late arrival or early dismissal. And so you'll have to select which one you're interested in, and you'll have to let us know which courses out of your 8 that you are willing to drop to make this happen. Now, keeping in mind, sometimes early dismissal and late arrival don't work out because there's certain courses that may not be offered. Like if you're in STEM or you're in the Health Science Academy, some of them are not offered at all times. So make sure that when you're looking at this, that you do understand that this may or may not work out. It's all individual, and it's not based on any one thing. It may be solely based on the classes that you have signed up for. I also wanted you to see our senior Google site. We talked a lot about the Common Application earlier. And the Common App is where you can go. It's the main application portal. And so on our senior Google site that you'll be able to look at are the videos. And we, as counselors, upload your transcript in the Common App, so you don't need to worry about that if you use the Common App. And so, as you see, there's a lot of videos here for you to look at. The financial aid information is here. Just briefly, I wanted to show you that. There's some tutorials here, all things you need to know about that. The scholarships, we have the resources listed here. The virtual tours that I was talking about, we have some coming up. The letters of recommendation. Here's the brag sheet again, but I have already given it to you. And as you can see, there's all of the frequent asked questions, and you can go here and look at this site to get an idea of the things that's going to be coming as your senior year gets underway. This concludes this PowerPoint and the counselor information session about getting ready for senior year. Again, if you have questions and you want to contact your counselor, you can go again to the virtual appointment and click on your counselor and make an appointment. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.